Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Stephen Aldana. I'm the CEO of WellSteps, and I'm excited to be here online with this video today. We're here to start off the wellness program for Ogden School District. We've been working with EMI Health and your Assistant Director of HR, Noelle Baird, to put in place a behavior change and lifestyle change program called WellSteps. We've done 2 live meetings at Ben Lomond High School and Ogden High School, and if you're getting this video, it's the same video and the same presentation we've done at both locations. We've just tried to make a copy for you to see online or on your device or however you want to see it. And we want to welcome you to the beginning of the WellSteps Behavior Change Program. And in just a minute, I'll be introducing the 2 WellSteps guides that are working directly with your account. They are Carly Thornton and Elena Daly. And in just a few minutes, they'll show you exactly what steps you need to take to get started. Before we get to that point, I wanted to share with you why participating in a worksite wellness program is important to you and your significant others. And to do that, we're going to start with a quiz. Here's the first question I'd like you to think about. Think of a food that you crave. Not a food that you just like or a food that you are fond of, but a food that you really, really like. Have you got one in your mind? Have you got that food in your mind? Now answer this question. Which of these 3 ingredients are in that food? Salt, sugar, or fat? If you're like me, there's usually at least 2 or 3 of those ingredients that are in that food. I chose bacon. Here's my image of bacon. Bacon can be made with maple syrup, so it has all 3 flavors, salt, sugar, and fat. Maybe you chose chocolate. Maybe you chose pizza. Maybe you chose ice cream, or maybe caramel corn, or some other high-fat, high-salt, high-sugar food. The reason I want to mention this is because when we eat foods with just the right amounts of salt, sugar, and fat, we actually have an emotional response. Inside of our brain is a center which is called the pleasure center. And when we eat foods that are high in these 3 ingredients or just in the right combinations, we actually experience pleasure. That's why I use the word crave. Crave is just not a simple word. Crave is something that we eat and we really like and we desire intensely to repeat that process because it does impact the pleasure sensors of our brains. Why am I even talking about this? Well, if we want to improve our health, we're going to have to focus on what we eat, whether or not we exercise, whether or not we use tobacco, how we sleep, how we control our stress. This is just one factor in our lives that has changed dramatically. Today, you and I live in Ogden or Farmington or Layton or anywhere in the state, anywhere in the country for that matter, where our foods have been carefully formulated to include these 3 flavors to maximize our pleasurable experience. So what we do is we eat and we like it and we return and we repeat it. A place like Cheesecake Factory has perfected the science of salt, sugar, and fat so that when we go there, we have an emotional experience. Okay, maybe it's not the Cheesecake Factory. Maybe it's just a cinnamon roll. We've got just the right amount of fat, just the right amount of salt, drizzled with a little sugar on top. And when we eat it, something amazing happens. We like it, we crave it, we desire it, we'd like to do it again. And we focus a lot of our foods these days on foods that have been manipulated to include these 3 flavors. And it's not just Utah or Idaho or America. This is a global phenomenon. Humans all over the planet respond very powerfully to these 3 flavors so that you can buy cinnamon rolls in Karachi, Pakistan. Why? Because they're having a pleasurable brain sensation on those 3 flavors all over the globe. Well, what does that really mean for us here in Ogden and our wellness program? It means that our food has changed. Our food has changed dramatically. We now consume foods that we buy, we taste, we love, and then we do it again and again and again. We have created a food environment that alters our health. And it's not just the inclusion of salt, sugar, and fat. You'll notice that the serving sizes of the foods we eat are larger than they've ever been. Usually the food that we consume for 1 could be easily consumed by 2. The net result is, well, we've gained more weight now than any other population in world history. It has altered the very health of the bodies in which we reside. Our own bodies have changed because of this. And it's not just our food. Our physical activity patterns have changed with the advent of the internet and labor-saving devices and entertainment options. We are now more sedentary than we have ever been. Now, this may not be you, but the combination of our changes in our food and the changes in our physical activity patterns have caused what we call maladaptation. Our bodies have not adapted to this new environment, so we gain weight. We have concerns about this. We're more sedentary. Our children are more sedentary. You may not be playing games on the computer, but I'll bet you're sitting in your car more than you used to. So what we want to talk about is the fact that the environment in which we now live, the world we now live in today, is different than it used to be. And because it has changed, our health has changed along with it in some not so good ways. For example, in 1995, I did a meeting in Ogden, and I looked up the state data on the percentage of people in Ogden or the state of Utah who were overweight or obese. In other words, they had a body mass index of 25 or greater. And in 1995, that was 45% of every adult in the state was overweight or obese. 5 years later, that chart looked like this. 54% of every adult was overweight or obese. 5 years after that, it was at 57%. And 5 years after that, it's at 58%. So we look at this trend. This change that has occurred over the last 20 years shows a dramatic increase in the percentage of us who are overweight or obese. And I'm pretty sure I know where this trend is headed. It's going to go up because, well, bacon tastes so good. The foods that we consume have driven how much we eat. Our labor-saving devices, our technology, our new world that we live in, the internet have all changed our lifestyle patterns so that we now have excessive body weight. That's not the only concern. All of us are going to die at some point in time. And most of us are going to die of one of these 4 conditions. By the way, here's one more slide. This is the United States as a whole. The U.S. is expected to be about 75% of the population overweight or obese in the next 4 years. It's a huge upward trend. There's England and Canada and Austria and France and Korea. There's a huge change happening around the world. The Utah data that I just discussed can be plotted right there. So we're not as bad as the rest of the United States, but we're worse than most other countries. And we're worse than a lot of states. And every year it gets a little worse. That leads to these 4 chronic diseases. And these are the ones that kill most of us: cancers, stroke, heart disease, and diabetes. So now I'm going to ask a simple question. Since most people and most of us will die of one of these 4 diseases, excuse me, what percentage of these diseases are caused by poor lifestyle choices? In other words, of all the cancers, strokes, heart disease cases, or type 2 diabetes that we experience, what percentage of those are due to eating the wrong kinds of foods, using tobacco, or not moving around enough? And there's the numbers. 71% of cancers, 70% of stroke, and the vast majority, 80 to 90% of all heart disease and type 2 diabetes is because we eat the wrong kinds of foods, we don't move our bodies enough, and we use tobacco, or any one of 3 of the combinations. What this tells us is that lifestyle, our behaviors, are the major driving force behind the elevated health risks that we have and the chronic diseases that we ultimately die from. So it says that this is a choice that we make, not an act of God or not something we're doomed to, not even our genetics in most cases, but a daily choice that we make to determine how long we live. So the solution to this is really quite simple. If we want good health, or we want to avoid poor health, we want to avoid the chronic diseases: Parkinson's, cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, the big ones. Those big ones are directly caused by elevated health risks, such as high blood cholesterol and high blood glucose, high blood pressure, the risks we always try to control. It just so happens that those risks are caused by unhealthy behaviors. Whether or not we wear a seatbelt, whether or not we eat a high-fat diet with a lot of saturated fat, whether or not we eat fruits and vegetables or whole grains, or whether or not we make time to be active. It's behavior that drives risks, that drives disease, and really determines our overall health. So the purpose of the Well Steps program is to help all of us adopt and maintain healthy behaviors. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat this afternoon. How do we do that? How do we change behaviors? Well, in a simple form, it's three things. You got to have a good reason to change. And Boise School District's willing to help you with that. One, besides improving your health and living longer, they're also going to reduce your premium, health insurance premium, by $25 a month. It's $300 a year. That's a good reason to change. You also have to have new skills and strategies to be able to do this. And you got to have help from others, spouses, significant others, friends, colleagues. We're all in this together, and help from others makes this a lot easier. So let me just recap and summarize with this little study we completed. This was a randomized clinical trial with 375 people who went through a lifestyle change program. These people are very much like you. Then we had a control group that didn't do anything. And then we looked and saw what happened to their behaviors, what happened to their health risks, and what happened to the group when they decided to change behaviors. Well, over a 6-month period, 6 weeks, they dramatically increased the number of fruits and vegetables that they were eating. That's the red bars, compared to the control group, which didn't change. They dramatically improved the number of whole grain servings that they were consuming. They dramatically decreased the amount of saturated fat. That's the fat from mostly animal products. And they improved their physical activity from 40,000 steps a week to 52,000 steps a week. So they changed their diets, they became more physically active, and look what happened to their health risks. Systolic blood pressure dropped as much as 30 points. Diastolic blood pressure dropped as much as 14 points. Cholesterol dropped as much as 50 points. And glucose improved dramatically. Now, these changes in health risks are greater than you can get with medication. And the only thing these people did was change their lifestyles. Well, here's a couple more slides. This slide on the left is the left coronary artery, the descending coronary artery. On the left, you can see it's almost completely blocked or occluded all the way down. This is the very, very beginning of a major heart attack. The artery on the left is a patient who's 57 years old, a male, who's lived a typical American Ogden-like lifestyle. The artery on the right is that same exact artery 6 months later after lifestyle change. No stent, no medication, no open heart surgery, just change my lifestyle, and I get a reversal of disease. Here's a 65-year-old female. You'll notice up here on the left, that artery is almost completely blocked off. That same artery on the right, 6 months later, after dramatic lifestyle change. So what we're proposing is a wellness program that will prevent, arrest, stop it from getting worse, and even reverse some chronic diseases. Not all of them, but most of them can be impacted by lifestyle. So what does it really mean for you? I like to summarize it like this. In Ogden, the average lifespan is 76 years of age. And throughout your life, you get illness. You get sick and better and sick and better. That's called morbidity. And somewhere towards the end of your life, you have some kind of critical event. A broken hip, bypass surgery, Parkinson's, breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, something pretty major, at which point in time your health gets worse and worse and worse, and then you pass away. On average, at 76. Just before you pass away, that 7-year period is what we call the declining health years, where your health just gets worse and worse and worse, and then it's over. Well, welcome to Ogden. Welcome to Utah. This is what most of us have to look forward to right now. If you're willing to adopt and maintain healthy behaviors, this timeline changes. The average lifespan goes from 76 to 86 and even higher. And we're not quite sure what the top end is, but I know people can make it to 86 because we have large groups who already do. You're still going to have illness. You get sick and better and sick and better. You still have an end-of-life illness period, and you have a critical event usually, and you have this end-of-life block of time. But look at the two. The top is where we are. The bottom is where we can be if we'll engage in the Well Steps program and participate with Ogden School District to be healthier. Both timelines end in death. It's just that your current life timeline has about 7 years of poor health, whereas a healthy timeline has about 3 years of poor health at the end. But best of all is this piece right here. You pick up 10 to 20 years of high quality life. This is 10 to 20 years after retirement when you can be active, about, and fully engaged in a healthy lifestyle. That's the payoff for people who want to make behavior change. That's the reason I get excited about what we do at Well Steps, because we improve and lengthen the quality of people's lives. We help people transform from a good life, don't get me wrong, to an even better life by helping people make lifestyle changes. Now for me, I still don't like this 3-year end of life period. What I'd like to do is just completely get rid of that, just block that thing out. I want to bend that morbidity curve down. What I'd like to do is I'd like to be 94 years old up at Powder Mountain, snowboarding with my great-grandchildren. I'm going to lose my balance and boom, I'm going to hit a tree and it's over. Right there, end of life, compressed my morbidity into about 4 seconds, big smile on my face. Why? Because I made lifestyle choices along the way. I didn't eat quite so many of the foods high fat, high sugar, high salt. I ate foods closer to its natural form. I made sure I exercised regularly. I avoided tobacco. And what I got was 94 years of really good health to spend time with friends, family, community, church, things that are of value to me. That's the payoff. And to show you how to do that, we're going to go through on how to get started. And I'm going to now pass the baton over to Carly, and she is going to show you exactly how this is going to happen. Carly? Are you with me?
Thank you, Steve. I am going to get this going. All right. So like he said, my name is Carly Thornton, and I'm your main Well Steps guide, and I'm super excited to be working with you this year. Now we're going to go ahead and just jump right into things and how we're going to get started. So the first step is to assess your health to see where you are and how you're doing health-wise. The next step is to engage in behavior change campaigns. And the final step is to record monthly wellness activities. And this is the important one because this is where you're going to earn the points to earn that end-of-year incentive, which is a $25 a month or a $300 a year medical premium reduction. So we're going to break these down a little bit more and talk about each one in detail, as well as go over your program center that each one of you is going to have access to. All right, so the first step is to assess your health, and to do that, we're going to go to wellsteps.com/welcome. Now, I just wanted to point out that you did receive an email about this. If you have any additional questions, you can reach out to Elena and myself, but you should have received a welcome email with all this information. Once you go to that webpage, it's going to look something very similar to this, and you're going to go up into the upper right-hand corner and click the Register button. I also wanted to point out that on this page, we do have our privacy policy. Any information that you provide to Well Steps, including your personal health assessment answers, is privacy protected. We do follow all the protocols for HIPAA, GINA, and ERISA, so you can have peace of mind knowing that all your information is going to be kept completely confidential and will never be shared with Ogden School District. So after you click Register, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this, and this is where you're going to enter your username. Now your username is your email address, and this is the one that you provided when you signed up at open enrollment using Infinity HR. In some cases it was a work email, in some cases it was a personal email, so you'll just have to think back when you signed up and decide which email you used, and that will be your username. After you enter your username, you're going to be taken to a page where you can complete the Well Steps Personal Health Assessment. Now, this again is going to give us a good idea of how you're doing health-wise right now. It's also going to show us where you're currently having success and potentially a few areas that you could focus on and improve upon in the upcoming year. This assessment's about 30 questions long, and it shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to complete. It's very simple, very straightforward. Something I wanted to point out is one of the final questions on the personal health assessment is going to ask you to invite a spouse or partner. This can also be a friend to join you for free by sharing their information. If you would like to do that, you can enter their information. And we're going to talk about it a little more a little later on, but they do have the opportunity to win a $25 gift card. But we'll discuss that as we go. Something that's really unique about the WellSteps Personal Health Assessment is that you're given your results immediately. So what you're seeing now is the first thing you'll see after you complete your health assessment, and it's called the Health Report Card. A couple of things to note: you're going to be able to see your overall grade here. It'll also give you some A, B, and C grades in the different categories that were discussed in the personal health assessment. But the most important part of this page is the Your Feedback section. Now, we really encourage you to take a look at your feedback, especially in the areas that maybe you received a lower grade, a B or C grade, because it's going to give you actionable tips that you can start right now, today, to help get you from that B, C grade into more of the green A grade range. So we really encourage you to take a look at that. A few other things on this page that you can print it. There's also a history button, so as we go from year to year, you're going to be able to see where you've improved and where you've gotten better. But the most important button on this page, I believe, is a Set Goal Now. This is going to take you to the WellSteps My Goal tool. You can also access it by clicking this button here. Now this is what My Goal looks like. It's a 21-day goal-setting tool. It's going to give you some areas that you're doing really well in. It's also going to give you some areas that you can maybe improve. And if you choose to set a goal, all you have to do is check it, and it will take you to a page that looks like this. Now, like I said, it is a 21-day goal, so we will send you reminders at the beginning of each of the 3 weeks. These reminder emails will have the goal that you set. They'll have some tips that so that you can have success in your achieving your goal, and then it will also remind you to go into your program center and record your progress. So to do that, you simply check it off or enter the information and hit submit. This is a great way to take control of your health initially, just right off the bat, so we really encourage you to do that. This is based off the personal health assessment, though, so goals are preset, and they're preset to help you get from that that BC grade to the A grade. So if you're looking for something with a little bit more flexibility, we also have the My Tracker tool, and this tool is unique because it lets you select what area you would like to set the goal in, as well as lets you decide how you want to achieve that goal. So there's a few areas that you can work on: exercise, eating, or my own thing. And my own thing includes things like sleeping. In this example, we'll choose exercise, and it'll ask you what do you want to track, so it could be minutes, miles, steps, etc. Then it asks you to set your daily goal. Once you set your daily goal, it's automatically going to take your daily goal and put it into a weekly target. You can always see how many minutes of exercise you have by watching this progress bar right here. Something that's unique about the My Tracker tool is that you can actually sync a device. So if you have a Fitbit, a Jawbone, if you use a MapMyFitness, MapMyRuns applications, you can sync them by clicking the Sync My Device button here, and it will automatically put that information in there for you. If you do not have a device, though, that's okay. You can always manually enter your data here, and it will show up in a bar graph here as the week progresses. So this automatically moves week to week for you. However, you can stop it at any time, and you can always set new trackers. So this is great. We encourage you to do this, especially at the beginning of the new year when a lot of us are already setting health goals. This is a great way to track your progress. So we encourage you to do that. The next tool I want to discuss is Screening Reminder. Now this tool is also based off your answers that you provide in the personal health assessment. And what we do is we take all your answers as well as your age and your gender, and we come up with a list of all the preventative screenings that you should be receiving that year, or at least talk to your physician about. So we put it all in one list, and this is Screening Reminder. In your program center, you'll have the opportunity to print this so you can take it to the doctor when you go and visit your physician, and you can be a wise healthcare consumer because you already know some of the things that you need to be receiving or at least discussing with your physician. A few other resources that we wanted to discuss with you quickly. We do have a recipes tab right here. It'll take you to a page that looks like this. We have a ton of really great recipes on here. If you're looking to try something new at home, or if you have a big event coming up and you want to try something new, this is a great place to go and get healthy recipes, of which includes the nutritional information. Now the last tool I wanted to talk about was the My Story tool. This is something that we recently developed at WellSteps and we're really excited about it. We wanted to tap more into the social side of wellness and really build camaraderie within our companies, especially, and in your case, a district, especially because you found that when you have support, you're going to have more success. So My Story is simple. You simply share your story. This can be a success story, it can be a milestone you've reached, or it can just be some words of encouragement. So what you can do is you'll upload your photo, and this is optional, and then you'll type in your success story. Once you submit your story, Elena and I will go in and approve those, and then they'll appear right here in the My Story box on the right-hand side. Every time you go to a new page, you're going to see a new story. So we really encourage you to take advantage of this. We've really had success with this so far. It's a great way to support each other as we go through this process. All right, now we're going to go a little bit in a different route and talk about the WellSteps app. This app is really great. It's free. It's available on the App Store, the Google Play Store for Android devices, and the iTunes App Store for iPhone devices. And what's really special about the app is everything you can do on your online program center, you can do on the app. And that includes registration. So maybe if you don't have access to a computer, or you're traveling a lot, or you just simply find it easier to do things on your phone, the app is for you. Noelle, your coordinator, does have some flyers that have more information on the app if you are needing more information, or you can also contact me directly and I can get you more information on the app. All right, so now we're going to talk about behavior change campaigns. So if you remember, there are a few things we are going to do this year. And the first one was to assess your health, and we talked about that. And now the next one was to engage in behavior change campaigns. So we want to talk about what these are and how you can participate. Now campaigns are typically 6 to 8 weeks long, and they're going to cover a health topic that was chosen by your wellness team. Now everyone will do the campaign together, and they consist of simple weekly tasks that you can do right in your program center. So this year we're going to do the Healthy Weight for Life campaign, the Sugar Busters campaign, and this one will be very similar to the Sugar Smackdown event you did last year, and finally the Veggie Up campaign. And as time goes on, you'll receive information via email about these, and you'll also see posters that look very similar to this one, and the posters will include the day and the incentive that goes along with the campaign. So look forward to those. And also something that's really unique about the campaigns is that some of them include campaign materials, which is really great. These are things like books, cutting boards, and in your case, the upcoming campaign includes a water bottle. So that's really fun. When there's actually a campaign going on, this is what it's going to look like in your program center. It's going to be the first thing you see when you log on. You'll see the weekly tasks right here, and any resources that are included, or like PDFs or videos, are going to be located right here, so you don't have to go anywhere else. They'll be all located in this one page. And there's going to be that weekly quiz, and this is where you'll go in and report on how you did with the weekly tasks. The name of the campaign will always appear right here, so if you go off the page and you need to access it, it's right here and you'll know what's going on. And then also there's the weekly bubbles right here. It will tell you what week we're in. You can always go back and record, but we can't move forward. We are going to move forward together so we can help each other with the weekly tasks and support each other. It is important to note that once the campaign is complete, you're not going to be able to go back in and record your activities. So make sure that you're watching these weekly bubbles, and make sure that you're going in and completing those quizzes. All right, let's talk about rewards. So rewards is when you go into your program center, you'll click the rewards button here, and it's going to bring you to a page that looks just like this, where there's going to be a list of activities with their associated points. And this by completing these activities, you'll earn those points that will give you that end of year prize. So let's kind of go through this a little bit more in detail. You'll notice that your company honesty policy is here. We encourage you to read that. It's always more fun when we're honest. What we'll do, you'll notice that when you complete an activity, you simply check the button and hit submit. Now some activities, like this one below, I had no unscheduled work absences this month, was worth 20 points, and when you hit submit, you automatically get those points. However, there are some activities, and these are the big ticket items, that when you check it off, it's going to show a pending. And this is because either myself, Elena, or Noelle, your coordinator, are going to have to go in and make sure that that was actually completed. Now, if you're ever wondering where you've earned your points or if you have pending points, you can always click this Points tab here and see where you've earned your points and if you have any that are pending. A few other things to note on this page. The month will appear here. You can always go back. Say you forgot to record an activity the month prior, you can go back and check that off. You can go forward and you can see what's coming up as well. But the most important tab on this page is the Prizes tab, and this is where it gets exciting. When you click on that, you're going to see this. This is how many points you're going to need to get that end of year incentive, that $25 a month, $300 a year medical premium reduction. So you'll need 7,200 points to receive that. And you're going to be able to see how many points you have here and your progress towards that goal. I just wanted to point out that those points are going to be redeemable beginning November 1st in 2016. That's when you'll start seeing that medical premium reductions. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to Noelle or myself. All right, so what's next? The Healthy Way for Life campaign is the first thing that we're going to be doing. And this is we're going to learn the 6 secrets to optimal health. And this campaign is going to start February 1st, so just in a couple of weeks. And it's going to be done in teams, school against school, which is going to be really fun. And you'll get more information on that as time goes on. Just so you know, once you've registered with WellSteps, you're automatically registered to complete the campaign. So you don't need to worry about registering for it or anything else. Once you're registered with WellSteps, you're all set. And the best part about the campaign is not only if you complete the campaign, will you earn 1,000 rewards points, which is huge, you'll also be entered to win a $25 gift card. So do not miss out on this opportunity to earn those points and that opportunity to win a gift card. This is really exciting. All right, what to do now? So we're going to go to wellsteps.com/welcome and register. When we register, we'll take the personal health assessment. And as extra incentive to get registered now, if you complete the personal health assessment by February 1st, you're going to be entered to win a $25 gift card or the WellSteps swag bag. So just another incentive to be registering and completing the PHA. And like I mentioned before, your spouse also has an opportunity to be entered to win a $25 gift card if they complete it by February 1st. All right, so a few things else that we can do. Participate in each behavior change campaign. These are important. They're the big ticket items. These are where you're going to earn your points. So make sure that you're participating in each of those campaigns, the 3 I mentioned earlier. Make sure to go into your rewards program and check off those activities that you completed and earn those points. You can take advantage of a lot of the tools I talked about. These are great ways to track your progress and see where you're at now and how you're going, where you're going and where you can improve. And then finally, the last thing we can do is encourage others. You don't have to do this alone. Invite your family, invite your friends. They might not get the incentive, but they're still going to benefit from this program. So we really encourage you to encourage others around you. And if you have any questions, you can contact me directly. Here's my contact information, and here's Elena's as well, and she's the second guide on the account. We're super excited to be working with you, and we hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us.